I'm starting off really quick, hitting the ground running. I've found the center of my 12 by 12, and all I'm doing, you can see there, I've just grabbed a pencil and I'm just flicking my hand just to create sort of an outward curve or a swirl, if you will. So that's the basis of my page. I wanted to work with pink tones of distress oxides, pink sort of running into reds, I guess. And I have this set of stamps. They're from KMART here in Australia. I bought them ages ago. I don't know if they're still available. But it's just basically a mishmash of different things in the stamp collection. But there's these couple of stamps that are, they're SPLATs, but they're on their own. So I'm able to use them as a dot. Two different sizes in the stamp collection. And I don't even know if you can call it a collection. But anyway, stick with me. This is sped up quite a bit because it did take me a while, but it's one of those things that it wasn't hard to do, just time consuming, and it really wasn't even anything ridiculous. Like, I could honestly see myself at a retreat and doing this because it was so simple that each stage you could be chit-chatting, laughing, playing games, doing whatever, and you could still get this done and get it done correctly. Like, so it looks, it's not correctly, but you know, like, so it looks right. So this is what I'm doing. I want to create using different tones. I'm trying to create, do you know, I'm assuming it's all over the world. I'm going to assume. So if you don't have them in your country, let me know. But at Christmas time, you get these peppermints, and they have, here in Australia, you can get them, and they're white, and they've got like red swirls. I think you can get green ones as well. But they're a peppermint, they're a mint, they're a boiled lolly, basically. That's kind of the swirl I had going in my head when I originally started when I sat down this morning, that's what I wanted to do. So sometimes I sit down and I know what I want to do, and then sometimes I sit down and I have to actually give it some thought. Now, this morning I was a little sort of skewed when I got out of bed. I was thrown off, had a weird dream, really, really weird dream. And when I wake up after that, it sort of throws me a little bit. So I knew today I wanted to relieve the pressure. No pressure today. This was an easy scrap day. I'm simply going to do repetitive patterns and see where it takes me. That's what I was doing. So that's all my small splats. Now I increase the size to this larger splat and I take it all the way to the border. I'm using the same colors, continuing the line all the way out, and it's this simple. I'm literally putting these stamps on the lines that I made at the beginning. And I actually quite like watching it in fast forward because it looks so cool. Now, what colors did I use? I went from everything from spun sugar right through to candied apple. I used festive berries, picked raspberry, spun sugar, worn lipstick, black soot, abandoned coral, and candied apple. They're all the colours I used, and I used black and white 12 by 12, and I used, what else did I use? I used the Paper Rose Studio Gold Basics 1.1 collection. That is pretty much, now I've told you that. Oh, and NUVO crystal drops, the glossy ebony black crystal drops. That is all I used on this page. I did use my Cricut to cut out my title, purely because I wanted the colours to, why do I use my Cricut? Why does anyone use their Cricut? They do it because it makes it easy. Makes an easy title. It allows you to make the title as big or as small as you want. You can, not only that, you're not bound by how many A's E's, I's, O's, or U's you have left in your packet of stickers, you can literally make it any title you want and you can cut it out. I do have a video on my channel that you can go to if you want to see how to create titles with a border, the way I do it, or an offset as it's called in the cricket world. So that video is there. I will try and link it in this. I still have my L plates on a little bit when it comes to some of the things here. This piece of paper, this cardstock you can see there, that's just a scratch piece that I've been using. And I was just practicing what I was going to do with it. So what I decided to do after my splats, I thought it looked a bit too geometrical, but it needed something else. So I picked up this pen that I'm using. I'm actually using the top of the pen. It's a felt tip pen that I bought from KMART in a pack, and they're just fine tip markers. There's nothing, find anything you like that has a circular, this one it's hollow in the center, so it literally creates a circle. And I thought that looked really cool. I thought that'll work, give that a crack. So that I did. Now I'm just following along. So what I actually did here is when I did the circles, they're not the circles on top of the color. It's actually, if you jump one color to the right, that's the color that I've put on that next row. Does that make sense? So that's why I've kept my oxides at the top in particular order. And yeah, it worked absolutely perfectly. It's symmetrical. I absolutely love it, how it turned out. Yeah. So what's everybody up to this weekend? I know I will be watching Bathurst 2022. Let's hope Shane Van Gisbergen can win. If you're from another country, Bathurst is a V8 supercars race that we have here in Australia, and honestly, I will be honest, it is absolutely, when it gets in your bloodstream, it gets in your bloodstream. It's like some people are avid footballers, some people hate sports altogether, some people watch, like in the US, they watch the NFL. I swear to God. Okay, on that note, I have to tell you, my eldest daughter and I, we have been, for the last couple of years, we have watched the Super Bowl. Now, Super Bowl. I know the rules to rugby league. I have no idea about the rules in AFL. All of my girls have played AFL, and I still watch it and go, what's happening? I still do that. Now, rugby league, I know all the rules, not a problem. I grew up and we watched rugby league on TV. I know the rules. NFL. You guys, my American counterparts, I know it usually doesn't run, I don't know. But if you know how we sit down and we watch the Super Bowl, we've done it 2 years in a row. Last year, not last year, the year before, we had no idea what was going on, right? We could not figure out how there were so many players. This year, we decided we're going to learn the rules, right? We're going to learn the rules to the Super Bowl, to the NFL. We're going to work out what they're doing. Guys, to say that we were perplexed as to why there is 2 teams per team, that blew my mind. Had no idea. This might be boring some people, but this blew our mind. That you have an offense team and a defense team. All the football that we play here in Australia, you got one team, dude. You're either defending or attacking. There's no second team. I was so confused. Oh man, I'll give it another crack. Next Super Bowl, give it another crack. I'll learn another couple of rules and I'll sit there for a little bit and I love the halftime entertainment. We'll see what happens. So, if you've got any advice for me, the KFC people, I don't know who they are, but we call them KFC because that's what their little sign is. They seem to crack on pretty good. I don't know if they're a good team, a bad team, or whatever, but they seem to do pretty good. Okay, back to scrapbooking. So, as you can see, all I'm doing is there was no measurements involved there. However, I do currently realize there's a mistake. Now, you can see that little black swirly thing in the very center. I was going to go along with another stamp in black. I stamped it in the center because I knew that in the center was going to be covered up with photos. So I put one down and went, no. Okay, see with it upside down, that's what I had going on in my head when I woke up this morning. Swirling. Probably doesn't help that it's pouring rain here in Queensland. Oh, God. Oh, man. I'm so over rain. Apparently, New South Wales today has surpassed all rain records from the dawn of, obviously not the dawn of time, but what do they call it? From when they've been making rain records. So where they've been keeping rain records and all the rest of it. Apparently we've still got 2.5, 2.75 months to go in 2022. And we've had more rain in New South Wales ever as of today. Crazy. Okay. FYI, if you're going to do this, write a number or a letter system so you don't have to keep putting it back on like I did. I tell you guys, I leave in the good, the bad, and the ugly. You need to put them in. Okay, still I stuffed this up. I put crosses on the top so I knew which parts were the top and which parts were underneath. Still, I didn't put a number system on them. Anyway, you live and you learn. Like I said, I woke up this morning and my brain was a little bit frazzled. So all I'm doing is now I'm putting numbers on them. However, so I'm just tracing these. I realize there's probably other ways you could be doing all of this process, but I'm just doing it in a way that anyone could copy. You don't need, other than the title, you don't need Fandangle machines. You don't need anything special. You could literally create this with paint, with ink, with alcohol markers. You could use those as your stamps. You could just do dots. You could do NUVO drops. Oh my Lord. Could you imagine doing this all in like liquid pearls? Could you imagine running your hand across it? Oh, that would feel so good. Oh, the texture. I love the texture. So this particular piece that I'm using is the Paper Rose Studios Gold Basics 1.1 collection. This particular sheet has got spots all over it. I do need to order another set of Gold Basics from Paper Rose Studios because I absolutely love this gold. It's, to my way of thinking, this is a true gold. It's not too yellow. It's not too brassy. It's just right. So I absolutely love it. If you're in the market for a gold basic, can I explain what a gold basic is? That would help you more. So Paper Rose Studios have these packs, and this one is 1.1. I think there's a 1.2 or a 2.2. And they have in the pack, there's 5 or 10 sheets. I can't remember the exact amount of sheets, but they have different gold, like high sheen. You can see it in the lights here. It's really high sheen, and it is, there's squares, there's zigzags, there's arrows, there's like a chevron pattern. There's all different ones, but you can use them like I'm doing here. You know, you can literally see my 1, 2, 3s didn't really help me in the end, because newsflash, you still got to put all the pieces back where they're supposed to be. So I realize you're probably looking at this going, there's got to be an easier way. Had I have just put down a full sheet of the gold dots and then put that on top? Yes. But I wanted the black to shine through, and what else did I want to do? I wanted to create texture. So I wanted the gold not to just sit flat. I wanted to go along each edge of it and sort of rough it up a little bit. Gone are the days where I simply scrap flat and don't ever raise anything up. I love the texture. That's the phase I'm going through. And for any OGs that have been on my channel now for an entire, what month are we in? 10. So nearly 10 months I've been going hardcore at this on this channel. And guess what? Today, no border. Are you proud of me? There's no border. I didn't create an extra border. So be proud of me, man. Come on. I always add a border. So do you like borders? Are you a border person or are you a non-border person? Put a comment below. Do you like them? Do you not like them? Do you like them to be straight, or do you like them to have, you know, like a torn edge or a roughed up edge, a sewn edge? I love a bit of sewing. I haven't done a bit of sewing. Ooh, that might be an idea for my next page. Haven't done a cut file. Haven't done a cut file. I did get some pear tree cut files. Actually, I did a cut file last week. What am I talking about? But I haven't done one in a little bit, and I did buy some new cut files last week. So I think I might do a cut file, and over the weekend while I'm watching Bathurst, I'm going to do some hand sewing, I think. I love doing a bit of hand sewing, especially when I'm sitting in front of the TV, because I need to, because when I do hand sewing, the reason I really haven't put much of it on my channel is because nobody wants to sit and watch someone hand sew. That would be like watching, I don't know, water boil. Boring. But I like the chitty chat that I'm able to have. Like when I'm doing a page like this, you can see, like I'm just gluing this down so I can talk about whatever I want. Heck, we've talked about football, we've talked about NFL, we've talked about V8 supercars. Although I would like Scotty McLaughlin to come back. I'm a Holden person through and through, but Scott McLaughlin is an awesome driver. So is Shane Van Gisbergen. Just saying, SVG is where my heart is at the moment. He's a Kiwi. He's fantastic. He is an amazing, and so Scott McLaughlin. So any of my Kiwi peeps out there that sorry, I shouldn't say Kiwi. That's an endearing term from me. I absolutely love all my New Zealand people. I love all of them. So I use the term Kiwi like you guys use Aussie, Ocker, down under. How's it going down under? You know, like, so yeah. So apologies if I offended anybody then. So, yeah, that Shane and Scotty are both, so is Greg Murphy. They're all from New Zealand. They're awesome drivers. You guys are producing some awesome drivers over there. Like, I know we got Lounsey and we had Brocky, but mate. Not to mention DJR, good old Dick Johnson. I'm a Holden through and through, but my husband and I always say, as much as we're Holden through and through, we will always take our hats off to an amazing driver. So, yeah. And an amazing team and a job well done. So, now what I'm doing is I'm using the offcuts because I wanted a little bit of bling around the edge of the photos. So, these two photos are from what I would call our little entertainer. This girl, I swear to God, from day dot, she has been our laugh when we need it. Jen is, she cracks us up. She is so funny. She'll come out with one-liners that are absolute doozies, and she's always been that little ray of sunshine when we need it. And yeah, so I'm just using a bit of old off-cut black. It's actually a leftover bit that I sprayed from last week. So I'm just using that just to give a very fine black border, just so it enhances that black that's peeking through under all the texture. See how you can see a little bit of it? Now I've raised up the dot parts on foam tape. I think I've already done that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have. So here's my title. Now this is where I realised that my title that I've just put down, so my offset, I decided to go over my offset with my black soot. It's not jet black, which obviously my cardstock is jet black, but I didn't want it to be too harsh. So I just went over it with black soot, and then I coloured my actual title. I ended up doing a oh gee, that's quick, isn't it? I ended up using 3 different colours: worn lipstick, spun sugar, and picked raspberry, I think. And it gave me sort of a triple, what would you call it? I don't know. When you see it, once I lift it off here, it looks so cool. And I just use my finger daubers. I've actually found that blends on there really well when I do that. See how it looks? It's a gradient. It's a really nice little gradient. So now, again, I use my mat to hold my offset while I glue on my actual title. And I love how it actually, these colours look so good together the way they are. And yeah, so I'm loving making this one today. Honestly, the days I just take the pressure off and just back off the accelerator a little bit and just go, just do something that comes to mind, something a little bit different. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to start this channel, because we all fall into the trap of duplicating or copying someone else's work or whatever. And then over time, I don't know about you, but I sort of fell into the trap, and it may have been because it was people that I was watching, but everyone's work sort of started looking the same. Everyone seemed to look like it was, and it's not a criticism, it's just an observation. And I wanted to bring to our crafty space, I wanted to bring a point of difference. And the way I scrap is a little bit different. It's not the same as what everybody else does. I guess that's because I'm just a little bit Aussie and I'm a little bit different. So this is where I like to shine. I like to just do things a little bit differently. Don't get me wrong, I've got heaps of pattern papers and I use them too, but sometimes I just want to sit and I want to get messy, but not too messy, so I pull out my inks. If I want to get really messy, I pull out paint, you know, and some people don't like getting messy at all, and they only scrap with paper. And you know what? I do that too. So if you are new to my channel, I do lots of different things, and I try and keep my videos each week. I do 6 videos a week, and I'll do 7, but I will do one from Monday through Saturday, and I usually have them up at 5 a.m. Australian Eastern Time, and Queensland time. I better say Queensland time now, hey, because we're in daylight savings. Our southern states, for everyone overseas, our southern states go into a daylight savings mode as of the beginning of October. So like Tasmania and New South Wales, they turn their clocks forward an hour. And I think WA, so I think during daylight savings, WA, correct me if I'm wrong, if I've got any WA viewers, but I think you guys are now 3 hours behind us or in front of us. No, it must be behind because the sun rises on the east. So it must be behind. So I know Tasmania and New South Wales, Victoria, they're all an hour in front. So yeah, so when I say 5 o'clock, 5 a.m., it's 5 a.m. Queensland time. So now I'm just adding some NUVO drops just to bring that black forward a little bit, and I think it finishes it off perfectly. So if you've been watching my videos, thank you very much. I really, really, really love all the support. And if you are one of the viewers that has been watching them, but you haven't subscribed yet, that would really help my channel out if you do subscribe, because it allows the algorithm to share my videos to other people looking for similar content to yourself. So if you don't mind giving me a like, leave me a comment, maybe something that I do that you like, something that you're not a fan of, or whatever. Let me know. I've got broad shoulders. I can take it. And thank you so, so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. And don't forget, first week of November, we're having a giveaway. So stick around and I will be back with you real soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Chat soon. Bye.